Hi, this is Tiffany. In this video, we will talk about directory traversal vulnerabilities. If you watched the previous video in terms of command line injection vulnerabilities, you'll remember that in the end, we changed the code to be immune to command line injection by replacing function system with execl with the proper arguments. And in the end of that video, I asked the question that whether or not the program is secure now. Turns out that it's not, because the program is vulnerable to directory traversal vulnerability. And in this video, we will look at this vulnerability together. So the vulnerability occurs at the line of execl. The statement itself has no problem. However, attackers can abuse argument ID so that path will contain something that is beyond our expectation. So similar to the video of command line injection, I'm going to show you the expected behavior first. For example, if we assign the value of ID to Tiffany B, normally this program will call cat with the correct path, which is associated with the user of Tiffany B. However, an evil user can also change the path name so that the path will actually point to something secret. For example, instead of a legitimate ID, someone can just put a sensitive path of a secret file. In this case, when execl is called, it will no longer read the record of a user. Instead, it will read the secret file inside this current directory. So if an attacker knows where the secret file is, the attacker can exploit this program by feeding the program with the secret path. Now let's check out the demo. Suppose that there is a secret file in this directory, and it says Tiffany secret in the secret file. The service then will call the check function. In the check function, it will use execl to call cat, followed by the path of the file. Now let's run the service. And on the other panel, we're going to connect to the service. So it asks for participation. And let's click it, press 1, and then input the ASU ID. But here, instead of inputting the actual ASU ID, I'm going to change it to the path of the secret file. So now we can find the secret content inside the file secret, which is Tiffany's secret. To defend against such attack, we can either to change the code in order to be immune to the vulnerability, or we can set up the permission property so that even the attacker can use the vulnerability to read the file. It will not have the proper permission to open the file and read the content. For permission, please refer to the video of Linux file permission. And for path checking, when you write a program, you need to have a path checking function or the statement to make sure that the path as a string is exactly within the scope of the directory that you're looking for. To defend against the directory traversal, what you need to do is to add an if statement and have a specific function to check the path. So now let's come back to the question again. Is the code secure now? The answer is no, and the code is vulnerable to Stack Overflow vulnerability. In the next video, we'll talk about Stack Overflow.